Well, before we go on to the big conversations, we have to put the spotlight on what happened in the national capital earlier this evening. Just a few kilometers away from where the beating retreat ceremony was taking place in the national capital, in the heart of Delhi, a blast was reported near the Israeli embassy. While no one was injured in the incident, we're given to understand 3 vehicles at least were damaged in the sense that the window panes were broken. The area, of course, now has been cordoned off, and heavy deployment of not just police forces but all other kinds of special investigative branch officials and personnel are already present there. In the first statement that Delhi police actually issued a little while ago, police said that it was a very low-intensity device that went off and termed it a mischievous attempt to create a sensation. That initial signs suggest it is some kind of a mischievous attempt. Listen.
कौन से बजे की कॉल थी और क्या कॉल क्या थी? क्या कॉल क्या थी?
कॉल यही थी कि बम ब्लास्ट हुआ है, वहाँ पहुंचिए।
अच्छा, तो कोई नुकसान हुआ है क्या? कोई
नुकसान का हमें नहीं पता। शीशे 3 गाड़ियों के शीशे टूटे हैं, वो हमने नंबर ले रखे हैं।
तो आपके पास ब्लास्ट की कॉल थी?
ब्लास्ट की।
Our correspondent Ayushman rushed to the site as soon as we got this information. He's been there for the last couple of hours. Ayushman, what do we know so far since 5:40 p.m. when the first call was made?
Tanvi, right now we are at Dr. APJ Abul Kalam Road. Behind me, you can see this road has been completely cordoned up by Delhi police officials, and inside all the senior officials are present. Currently, no member has come and they have briefed media on the status update. But the initial source-based information that we accessed from the Delhi police is that this CCTV footages are being currently scanned, and there was some can-based material that was used, and it was the low-intensity IED was planted in that, and it was thrown while it was on a moving vehicle. This is the initial input that we have got from our sources. Tanvi, what we are also being told that Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar has also spoken to his counterpart in Israel, and also the Foreign Secretary has also spoken to the Israel Foreign Secretary and has assured that the culprits won't be spared. But this incident on a day when the beating retreat is taking place kilometers away from here, Tanvi, definitely raises several questions. That questions are still to be answered. The Delhi police has said that there has been no injury, there has been no damage to the building of Israel embassy. It has been confirmed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well, but definitely the timing and the specific location that where we are standing right now, very, very high sensitive zone, Tanvi, and something of this nature when happens at a place like this on a day when beating retreat is taking place, definitely there are several questions for Delhi police which needs to be answered, Tanvi.
Yes, and like you said, Ayushman, this was at a time when the beating the retreat ceremony was going on in a very, very high-profile zone. What is happening on ground at present? Apart from Delhi police senior officials, who else is there, Ayushman?
Well, Tanvi, we have been told that the forensic team has also arrived, and currently the combing operation is going on. The area has been completely cleared up, and entire zone where we are standing right now, all the roads leading towards this have been completely closed. Not to forget, Tanvi, this is one of the most prominent road in the national capital, and this is the road which leads towards the Prime Minister's residence at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. This road also has the residence of Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, and currently we are being told that the senior officials of Delhi police and also the concerned investigative officers are present, though an official media statement still we are awaiting from the Delhi police, but source-based information says that it was a low-intensity IED which was lobbed from a moving vehicle, though CCTV footages are currently being scanned.
Yes.
After an update comes, we will be updating on that, but for now it has been said that the investigation is going on and the combing operations are on at near 5 APJ Abul Kalam Road.
So stay with with me, Ayushman. I'm going to come back to you and you know, to also explain to our viewers the significance of that location, where you stand, the important landmarks of the national capital and how close they are. But before that, we have got some more additional inputs, you know, coming in from the Delhi police sources. So let's bring that information in. Like we were telling you, that it seems that this was actually an explosive device in a kind of a can that was then thrown. Ayushman, Alok in fact has picked up some more information from his sources in the Delhi police. Alok, what are they telling you right now? Okay, we're going to connect with Alok in just a bit, but you know, these are the details that we're bringing to you right now. Remember, because it's a high security zone, perhaps that's why this kind of a modus operandi was used, where something was actually thrown rather than being planted under the glare of many security officials and CCTV cameras. Perhaps that's why this actually was the method that was used. So the Delhi police sources seem to indicate to us that the IED was thrown near a flower pot, kept on a road divider, and it was thrown from a moving vehicle. Now, before I go across to our reporters, let's also tell you that we spoke with the Israeli ambassador, Dr. Ron Malka, who is the ambassador of Israel to India and Sri Lanka. He spoke to Srinjoy Chaudhary of Times Network and said that yes, they're also keeping a close track, and of course that the fact that nobody has been injured and security has now been stepped up. Listen in.
Ron Malka, are you all right? This has been a unfortunate incident, but we just want to check if all of you are all right, if the embassy is okay, if all your diplomats are okay.
We're all well. Everyone is alright. Nobody was injured. All the embassy diplomats are okay and their families. And we are following the guidelines that we have for this situation. Everything is okay, and even no damage, only outside. Little damage outside, but not to the embassy. And nobody is hurt. We are all well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador.
All right, so before I go back to our reporters now, let me bring in Vinay Tiwari, managing editor. Vinay, very well versed with the geography of the national capital. Vinay, give us a sense of the significance of this place, how really this is one of India's most secure zones.
That's right. And the Delhi police are calling it a mischief, somebody's attempt to create some kind of sensation via mischief, but it's a very high-risk mischief done on a very, very highly sensitive day, the day of the beating the retreat, which is the culmination point of the Republic Day celebrations that begin. And what makes it even more eerie is that this is the district, this is the area where the entire security apparatus of Delhi police is at its highest possible alert. Because remember, Delhi as a capital city is always under a serious level of security threat perception, and hence the security upgradation is always there. But at this time of the year, in the last week of January, security is actually at its highest possible level. Now, this yellow part here that you see is the Israeli embassy. And this particular road is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Road, which earlier used to be called Aurangzeb Road. It got renamed as Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Road. Now, this is one of the roads that on one side leads to India Gate, and on the other side goes inside the New Delhi district, which has the Prime Minister's residence. It has the residence of most of our ministers. It also has very close to, in fact, 2 houses away from where the Israeli embassy is where the Delhi residence of the Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik is located. So you can imagine how high profile this particular area is. In fact, this is not the only High Commission or embassy in this area. There are others as well. There is the Spanish embassy is very close to this place. The embassy of Brazil is located right across the road from the Israeli embassy. So it's an extremely highly sensitive zone, a kind of a road where every 50 meters you will see a police control room vehicle. The PCR jeeps, as they call it in Delhi, are located. Also, outside every house on both sides of these roads, the big bungalows that you see in Lutyens, Delhi, are sentries, armed sentries that are posted, because every single person in that area is a protected person. Now, why did this become even more eerie? Not only was this place very, very secure, it happened on the January of 29th, the day when less than 2 kilometers away from here, this part, this reddish orangish part that you see and this yellow dot that you see, this is the Raisina Hill rampart. And this particular area is where the seat of Indian government lies, when it's also the area where the beating retreat ceremony happens. It happens in the open air. The President of India, the Prime Minister of India, and all the senior dignitaries, including ambassadors and diplomats, are all part of the viewers gallery which watches the retreat ceremony. And in fact, when the PCR call came at 5 p.m., the ceremony had just about begun. Remember and keep in mind that all these dignitaries would have moved in a very highly secure convoy cavalcade that takes place, travels across the city. There would have been route sanitization. There would have been back checking and cross checking of all the routes. And that's why, for whoever carried out this attack, to have chosen this day and this place and this time to do it, had a very, very sinister design. And that's why, even though this particular blast has only broken a few panes of cars, and luckily no injury or no other casualty has been reported, it will acquire one of the top investigative priorities of Delhi police in recent times, because this is something that has happened on a street where, remember, in 2012, something similar had happened where the family of the Israeli ambassador, then Israeli ambassador, got attacked. In fact, Tanvi, just to add a little bit to that story, on this very road, the Israeli ambassador's car was waiting at a red light when two young men on a motorcycle actually planted a device underneath the car, and it exploded just a short while later. Now, whether in this case the embassy of Israel was a target indeed or not, we don't know. But surely it was the same road on which this incident happened. And in those days, the incident actually got captured on a CCTV camera which was placed outside industrialist Analjit Singh's house, which is not very far from here. Since then and now, the security apparatus and the CCTV quality has also improved in Delhi. So you would imagine that the Delhi police, scouring through that data, would possibly throw some leads as we move along in the investigations, Tanvi.
Yes, absolutely, Vinay. In fact, I was going to ask you about the 2012 incident, because many people are saying, oh, it seems like a repeat of that, or it's a reminder of that. The 2012 blast, which was actually an Israeli embassy car that exploded and led to several injuries, unlike in this case where there have been no injuries. But eerily, it's the same place. Now, thanks, Vinay, for really putting that in perspective. I want to add on to that and then go back to Ayushman because what is important about this is the significance of the location. Why is it that we're talking so much about it? Not only it's the timing, the day of the beating the retreat, which essentially marks the end of Republic Day celebrations in our country, but also the fact that it's happening in such a high-profile zone of our, of the national capital. Not only is the Israeli embassy right next door, but it also is very close to India Gate and Raisina Hill, where all your key ministries are located. It's also in the same zone where your top ministers live or have bungalows which are allotted to them. Even your top bureaucrats live in the same area. Ayushman, since you are there on the location, if you can, standing where you are, give our viewers also a sense of, if one moves left or right from where you are, where do we land up?
Well, Tanvi, if you go left, you are definitely going to go towards the India Gate, and then you are going to the power capital of India, where power corridor of India, where you have the North Block, South Block, and the Parliament. This is the APJ Abul Kalam Road where we are standing, Tanvi. And you rightly mentioned about the timing, Tanvi. This is not just the beating the retreat, but today is also the 29th year celebration of India-Israel diplomatic relations. India and Israel established the full diplomatic relations on January 29, 1992. So this marks 29th year anniversary of that establishment of that diplomatic relations. So today is also a very significant day, taking that into perspective. And the blast which has taken place, though Delhi police has said it is very mild in nature, it has taken place about 150 meters away from the Israel embassy. The embassy has clearly said that their building is safe, nobody is injured, no casualty has taken place, but it is still to be considered because, Tanvi, if you see this road, my camera person is showing you right now, it is very, very strategically important to understand that this is one of the most prominent road in the Latvian's Delhi, and this is the road which connects you to the Prime Minister's residence. And from here, not very far is the power corridor, the north block, south block, the parliament. In fact, this is very close is the Taj Hotel, and the other dignitaries also stay in the nearby areas in Lee. So, Tanvi, this is a very, very important road, and something of this nature taking place on this road is definitely worrisome, and there are questions which needs to be answered. And like we earlier pointed out, that the foreign minister has spoken, the foreign secretary has spoken, and they have said once again, they have reiterated that the culprits won't be spared, and the investigation in this matter is currently on.
All right, Ayushman, thanks so much for bringing us these updates. Of course, we will keep coming back to you intermittently to get more updates as the investigation progresses, to see if there are any more details that have emerged. Let me also tell our viewers that the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, has also said that, and he just tweeted just a short while ago saying that, spoke just now to Israeli FM about the explosion outside the Israeli embassy. We take this very seriously. I have assured him of the fullest protection for the embassy and Israeli diplomats. The matter is under investigation, and no effort will be spared to find the culprit. So this is going to get extremely crucial for our country and the investigative agencies to show that we can do a quick, efficient, clean investigation into how did this kind of a explosion take place, security breach take place in such a high-profile, secured zone on such an important day. And of course, we will keep getting you all of those updates as they happen.